I personally believe this is one of the most important scientific discoveries of all time. I am really shocked that we don't even learn this in school. This is some next level stuff, and it was verified to be true. Dr. Masaru Emoto, and what he discovered was, when you speak to the water and you
already know what it is. It's your boy Laid Back with another reaction, another review, another episode. Hey, TikTok, you up to bat? Bah. It's your boy Laid Back. Welcome back to my channel. Hey, two things we got to do. You got to hit that subscribe button. I'm drinking this water. You already know what it is, man. You are the prize in 2025. You are the prize in 2025. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you hit the notification bell. Stay up to date with all the videos. We back with another reaction. Hey, we got more conspiracy theories going on over here, man. So if you make it to the end of this one, you a real one for real. Don't forget, we got a TikTok playlist where you can go through binge watch. It's a lot going on in that playlist, so just prepare yourself. But let's go ahead and get into it. Fire Squad, what's poppin'? Let's get it.
Every word that comes out of your mouth has 100 to 1,000 times more power than a thought. When you speak, the word vibrates into the universe. When you think, you're sending out a vibration only through your mind. But when you speak, you have to have the thought as well. So think about what you say. I'm so dumb. You just spoke that into existence.
Yep.
Things don't work out for me. You just spoke that into existence. Let me tell you what rich people do. Rich people give themselves pep talks. When they're by themselves, they say things like, I'm a winner. I'm gonna make this happen. They speak into existence what they want.
Right.
Watch your words.
Do your own research, do your own research. But words are powerful. Words are powerful.
Anything you say with the words I am, your subconscious will then take that as a command. If you say I am sick, you're actually creating sick in the future. See, a lot of people think when they're describing the present, well, I'm sick. But the fact is you're prescribing the future by describing the present as it is. And most people never get that. So when you're saying negative things to yourself, you're affecting yourself in a physiological way. And so we're constantly programming our subconscious. So this is why the people that live the most effective lives are always acting as if they're in the future and the future's perfect.
I like that. I like that.
I've been trained that word actually means word. Words is nothing but vibrations that have been decoded and labeled. That's all this shit is. Think I'm playing. Think I'm playing. Ani have ataka. Ani have atanak. What did I just say? Half of y'all don't know. Probably a few Hebrews know. But notice, that went nothing but tonations and vibrations to you. Until I tell you what I just said, I love you. I said I love you in a masculine entity, and I said I love you in a feminine entity. Now you can take what I just said, ani ohev atah, and you say, oh, that means I love you. But before then, you didn't know. It was a bunch of gibberish. Do y'all get what I'm saying? Everything is about coding and decoding. So if you're going through this simulation, decoding information, and that information is what you perceive as reality, then what are you? What are you?
This gonna get deep right here. Pause.
Yo, the English language is a whole setup. Now, I don't know if you know this, but words are spells. That's why you gotta spell your words. They teach you how to spell. And back then, they would teach you how to write in cursive. Keyword curse. And you curse somebody out. These are words that we say and we don't even really pay mind to them. But words are everything. Now through the TV, what do? They broadcast. So they're casting spells. And the people of the show or the movie are the cast. See, Hollywood comes from the holly tree. Wizards will make their wands from the wood of the holly tree.
Wow.
Do their sorcery. Now, what do they call shows and stuff like that? They call it programs because it's programming you. Then they have channels. So now you're channeling different information.
Hold on. Speaking of channels, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, make sure you subscribe. You know what we on over here, self-love and positivity. You know what we do. But yeah, let's go.
Different energy, all of that. Job means persecution in Hebrew. And when you work a job, what they pay you? A salary. Salary means sal. Sal is salt. That's how they used to pay the ancient Romans back in the day. Pharmacy means magic, sorcery, or witchcraft.
What?
Alcohol is derived from the word alcohol, which means body-eating spirit.
Damn.
That's why people act out and get possessed when they are intoxicated. That's why they call alcohol spirits. The word alarm originated in Italy as a battle cry. And that battle cry means to your weapons. So when you awake in the morning, awake is a gathering after the funeral. And mourning is a state of grief when somebody passes. That's why we don't say good morning, we say grand rising. But listen to this, so your alarm wakes you up. And that's a battle cry that means to your weapons. And you're now awake, which means gathering after the funeral. Then you go into your job, which means persecution, to gain a salary, which means sore. During the week, throughout the week, you feel weak. And then you make it to the weekend where you feel weakened. This is why it's so important to switch up your vocabulary, because like I said, words are spells. And depending on what words you're saying, that's gonna be manifested back. It's cause and effect. You put that energy out there. Even if it's unconsciously, you put that out there. So just be aware and definitely start switching up your vocabulary. Stop saying the word spent. Oh, I spent this much. I spent money. Stop saying that. Because once you spent it, the universe hears that and that's it. You can't get it back because you spent it. But if you say I circulated or I invested, the money is definitely going to come right back to you. I practiced this literally when I was broke and I noticed the shift. There's a reason why they stripped us from our original languages and they forced the English language on us. So always be self-conscious and start using more positive words. You already know, family, health is wealth. Don't forget to like, comment, and share. If you want more content like this, then definitely let me know in the comments. Peace out, fam.
Health is wealth. I wonder where you heard that before. Definitely over here.
What I'm about to show you is going to freak you out. Has anyone heard of Masaru Emoto? What he would do is he would get a bottle of water and then he would sticky tape a word to it. And he would pour that bottle of water into about 50 different petri dishes. And he'd roll it into a giant freezer. And then as the ice thawed, it creates crystalline formations. So this is the most spectacular of all the crystals. It's the combination of love and gratitude. Youthful, Japanese and English, wisdom. I love this one. Let's do it. It presupposes collaboration. Let us do it together versus do it, which presupposes command and control. What you got to understand, your words actually impact matter. Your words matter. Now, you can actually conduct your own experiment at home. It's called the rice experiment. And do this with your kids. Boil white rice. Get 2 jars of white rice. On one jar, label it love. On the other jar, hate. And every morning, get the kids to come down and say 3 beautiful words to the love jar. I love you, you're beautiful, thank you. And then get them to say 3 negative words to the hate jar. I hate you, you're ugly, you're disgusting. And then at the end of a period of time, for some people it happens in days, weeks, months, something magical will happen. The love jar will stay white. The hate jar will start to go dark and moldy. And it's an incredibly powerful lesson that you can teach children.
Yo, hold on, bro. This is very important. I do this. I speak affirmations over myself. Y'all know I got a playlist of affirmations on my channel. If you haven't checked it out, check it out. It's very powerful, you know, and words are very powerful, especially what you say about yourself, man. So very important.
Okay, I want to talk about the power of words for a second. Over the weekend, I experienced a conversation, and like I normally do, I leave a conversation and I sit with self and I reflect and analyze how I was feeling because I have such a high level of awareness. And I found that the words that I used were uplifting, but not only were they uplifting, I felt a sensation within my body. My vibration became higher. And it was in that moment I realized not only do words have power, but the highest level of currency is your vibration. If you think about it, these large companies and businesses are selling you an experience. And an experience is a feeling. And a feeling is an emotion. An emotion is energy in motion, which is equal to a vibration.
Right.
Ooh, are we doing this? We're doing this. Okay. So I say all that to say, the most important currency in the world is your vibration. Everyone has the power to receive whatever their heart's desire is. They allow themselves be fully aware of maintaining a high level of vibration, especially with the power of words. I've realized in these moments, the English language can deflect on your soul's currency. What am I saying in this moment? Let me give you an example. I just left Target and the man walked up to me and said, "Hey, bruh, how you get your arm so big like that?" I explained to him in that moment, I was like, "Oh, well, I do this exercise, I do this." And he was like, "Okay, so what diet are you using?" And I said, "Oh, well, I do this, I do this." I was just explaining to him my routine as to, how I desired my body to look the way that it looks. And his response in that moment was, "Oh, yeah, man, I don't know, man. That just sounds like a lot, man. I'm a busy man and I don't know if I don't know if I have the time to do all of that." I had to take a step back and realize, damn, this man just devalued his soul's currency. So now his desire to have a body yaddy has now devalued. I'm in a space along my healing journey where I'm experiencing and I'm aware that I have to choose uplifting words for myself because my soul's currency is worth billions. And I refuse to devalue myself, which is why I'm in a space where I choose to remove myself from situations, things that don't serve a higher purpose, which makes sense as to why I find that I am now surrounding myself with people who think highly of themselves. But not only are they thinking highly of themselves, I'm also experiencing that they have what I desire. So in all, these people that I'm hanging out with, they're fully aware that their soul's currency is at a high vibration. And in the space that I'm at in my journey, in my level of awareness, is attracting these kind of people.
Come on.
Because we're fully aware of the value of our soul's currency.
Hold on, man. I got to stop it right here. I used to say, make sure you chase your dreams, chase your dreams, chase your dreams. I switched that to say, you have to attract it. Don't chase it, attract it. This dude is talking exactly what I believe. Change the way you talk. Even for a week. Be very conscious and cognizant of what you say about yourself to yourself, even joking in conversations with friends, family, for a week. Be mindful and see exactly how your perception of yourself changes and your surroundings, even just for a week. Just crazy.
Oh.
He talking body yaddy. I don't know about that, but he talking.
Makes sense as to why they always say, one, surround yourself with positive people.
Oh my God.
Because these positive people are in a space of their journeys where they're realizing that their soul's currency is at a high value. In order to attract whatever it is that you desire, you need to be around like-minded people.
Facts.
I've developed this high level of confidence in myself because I'm having an understanding of my soul's currency. My soul's currency is now worth billions. So now I can only surround myself with billions. And that's billion-dollar energy. If your energy isn't billion-dollar, I have to go because it's not serving my purpose, my higher level of awareness, my soul's currency, respectfully. Because you haven't done the work to match my vibration.
Oh my, he talking. He talking.
I get it now, which is why you're picking and choosing the right kind of people who now match my high level of frequency.
Facts.
Okay. I'm patient.
He talking.
Like you don't believe in coincidences.
There's no such thing. The word is tricking you to believe that things just happen for no reason. When it's actually, the root word means that things come together with purpose. To coincide means to come together with purpose. Coincidence means to come together without purpose. Ignorant is one of those words too, because the root word of the word ignorant is ignore, and ignores to willingly. ignorant is to be unknowing that you're unknowing, to be within the unknowing. To ignore is to knowingly disregard.
Yeah.
So that's both trick words. Those things don't exist.
And to not expand yourself past what you already know that you already know is a sin against yourself.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh my God,
Like,
ignorance.
you know what I mean? Like, learning anything is ultimately learning yourself. That's what.
Can I be your best friend?
Yeah.
This shit, man.
Do you know how powerful your words are? Every day, the things you say are either making you better or worse. Control what you say and think, please. I'm
Facts.
so careful with everything I say and everything I do because I understand that I'm going to have to live with the consequences of everything that I say, yeah? Listen to this. What you say can preserve life or destroy it. So you must accept the consequences of your words.
What it says, the Bible says power lies in the tongue, the power of life and death. So he's basically saying you can either build up your life or you can destroy it with what you're saying. So it is very, very important that you watch what you say, man.
As soon as you open your mouth, if it's positive things, then those positive energies start getting to work to bring more positive experiences into your life.
Right.
Yeah. And if it's negative, those negative energies get to work in the exact same way, but just in a negative direction. Look, I'm a realist. Even if things ain't going as well as they should be, I say I'm grateful because you can't be grateful and unhappy at the same time.
Right.
You literally can't afford the luxury of one negative thought. Yeah, your thoughts are working for you 24/7, day and night. But the trick is, it doesn't happen overnight. You don't see changes overnight. It takes time. You have to be patient. If you've spent years being a negative soul, try and know it's going to take years to undo that. But it's either you take steps to get better or you take steps to get worse. You are in control. You have a choice. These are the universal laws of life. I didn't make them up. God did. So you either use them to work for you or you use them against you. Yeah.
This is it right here.
It's something called the 369 method. And basically all it is like the ultimate manifestation. And some people gonna think I'm crazy for saying this, but 369 method. So you write down what you want to become like you already became it. So you write it down 3 times in the morning, 6 times in the afternoon, 9 times at night. And you read it before you go to bed. So you read it 9 times before you go to bed. So basically it's just like, I would write down, I'm gonna be the first millionaire in my family, not the last. I'm gonna be the first millionaire in my family, not the last. I'm gonna be the first millionaire in my family, not the last. And I write it down every single day. Money come easily, frequently, and abundantly every single day. You know what I'm saying? So I write it down 3 times in the morning, 6 times in the afternoon, 9 times at night, and I read it before I go to sleep. So when you go to sleep, you go to the 4th dimension, which is the dream state. That's the highest consciousness that you have. Like that's like the ultimate. Like when we dreaming, that's the ultimate creative. That's the ultimate. So now when you wake up, that was the last thing that you read. So now what happens is you come back to the physical state, 3 dimension where we at right now, and you just basically like massive manifest the shit that you want. Do that shit for 30 days.
All right, say less.
But it gotta be like you already completed it though. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, just get in the habit that like manifest your month. You can write down some stuff that you want to achieve, but you write it down like you already achieved it. I did that in October 2019. I was like, yo, I want to make this amount of money. I want to travel to this amount of countries. I want to help this person make this amount of money in their business. I did everything on that list, bro. No cap.
I manifest a lot of things in life, bro. I ain't gonna hold you.
Yeah.
But it's something about this $100 million contract that
it's coming.
It is coming. I gotta just stay down and believe.
You're already a 100 millionaire, bro. The time just gotta catch up.
You gotta catch up.
That's it. Time is manufactured. Time ain't for real.
Time ain't real at all.
It ain't real at all.
It's only the present moment.
That's it.
Even I don't even know if it's the present moment. We just here.
We just here. You know what I'm saying? But again, it's already written. The time just gotta catch up. So the $100 million is already written. It's already yours because it's in you. It ain't on you. So the time just gotta catch up.
Man, this.
We live in a reality where everything is frequency and vibration. That's what it is, okay? On a very, very microscopic level, if you were to look at all the electrons that are in this reality, everything is vibrating. We just can't see it, okay? So because we are a vibration itself, like us humans are a vibration of itself, we have to be very mindful of the words that we use, okay? And I know a lot of people probably have heard this, but Words are power, okay? Words have so much power and magnitude to it, and we use our words so loosely. Okay,
Facts.
think about the concept of spells, like in witchcraft. What are spells? Spells are basically words that are attached to a deep intention. Now let's take that concept and let's apply it to our reality. Whenever we have an experience that we don't want to experience, or it's an experience that we don't really identify with, you have to be very mindful on claiming it. So what I mean by this is, let's say, for example, you got, diagnosed with a disease, okay? When you say, I have cancer, you're basically using your words, which are vibrations, okay? And you're putting an intention into it by saying, I have cancer. And every time you own something and possess it or claim it through your words, you're making it more stronger and powerful. Now, I'm not saying ignore the things that are happening in your reality. I know a lot of people are going to say, oh, okay, so if I have cancer, should I just act like I don't? That's not what I'm saying.
Right.
I'm saying because we live in such an energetic world, everything is energy. The more you emotionally, intentionally charge something, it just gets bigger and bigger. It's the same concept of charging negative emotions. When you have an experience and you don't want to charge it more and more, stop owning and possessing and claiming it. So stop saying, I have depression, I have an autoimmune disease, I have this problem, I have that. Try to create separation. It's fine to acknowledge that there's something taking place in your life, but the moment you take possession and own it, you're charging that vibration even deeper. And the reason why I say this is because back in the day, I was diagnosed with something and I don't have it anymore. But when I did, I kept saying that I have this, I have this, I have this, and I didn't realize what it was doing. I was making it my identity. So for those who have any type of disease or any type of mental health issue or any type of experience that is something that you don't want, you don't want it, stop claiming it. Start first by stop possessing it. Create a barrier, create a separation, and be very mindful of the words you're choosing when you say I have. Because you're charging that and you're going to just make it bigger and bigger. Words are so much more powerful than we give credit to them.
I agree.
This one truth about the power of words is going to blow your mind. And you're going to realize how deep life is. Check it out. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. And we know that Jesus Christ is the Word. And by him were all things created. And anything that exists, God said or God spoke into existence. God even created mankind by speaking to himself. And when he created man in his image and likeness. So the Word is Jesus Christ. Words are so powerful that God spoke this whole existence into reality just using words. He created us in his image and likeness, and then gave us the power of life and death in our tongue.
I said that.
Making us many versions of him on earth. So use your words to co-create the reality that the Lord has for you. Christian Movies on Tubi. Subscribe and follow for more.
What you think produces energy in the universe that, if you think it often enough and long enough, will actually produce a physical result in your life. Our second level of creation is our words. As you speak, so will it be done. Your word is really a form of energy. You're actually producing energy in the room with what you say. And that energy is creative. You say something often enough, loudly enough, and I promise you it will come to pass.
Swear.
If two or more start saying the same thing, I assure you it will come to pass. And when a whole group of people start saying the same thing, it cannot help but come to pass. This is called group consciousness, and it's, by the way, why the world is the way it is.
This is getting heavy.
This is why you should stop saying the word bless. It is not a positive word. The origins of the word bless actually meant to consecrate with blood or to sprinkle blood on a demonic altar, the altar of a pagan deity. You see, it was used in pagan rituals. The original word that was written in the scriptures was barak, or for blessing, barakah. That word actually translates to exalt. It was also used as a word for respect, like to kneel down. So the original word that Yahuwah intended for us to use was barak, and it translates to exalt or respect. It does not mean bless. This means to sprinkle blood on a pagan altar. Stop using this word. I hope this was helpful. Shalom.
This stuff is wild too.
So quick thought. We all went to school and we was taught to write in cursive and we was taught to spell and do all these things. But spelling, we understand etymology of spelling is spells. Etymology of cursive is cursing, curse, right? So we've been cursing ourselves since the beginning. But who's responsible? Who's responsible for the language, of English language? It's a King James. The same person who wrote the Bible, but translate the Bible from Greek to English. King James Version of the Bibles. Okay, so you gotta understand that the original language was a Hebrew language for people of melanin. It's carbonated. So you had to translate everything back to your original text to see what it means. The book, Holy Bible, Helios Biblios, the Sun Book is a real thing. It was just translated from a Hebrew version, Greek version to an English version. And King James is responsible.
Anything you say with the words I am, your subconscious will then take that as a command.
Fourth grade, I went in my closet, I said, I am going to the NBA. Anything you invoke with I am, the power of manifestation and what can happen in the universe comes true.
Every time you use the word I am, and you say I am weak, I am poor, that's blasphemy, because the highest place within you is called I am.
I don't want to be anything. I am everything I want to be, and I'm already there.
Whatever we say is what our life will be.
So this is why the people that live the most effective lives are always acting as if they're in the future and the future's perfect, not waiting to get there. Right.
Did you know that you can change and transform your life by changing your words, changing your vocabulary, and you can do it on purpose? Too many people walk around not knowing the true power they have, not knowing the universal laws of reaping and sowing, cause and effect, like attracts like. Because if you understood it, you will understand the words you use attracts words and things and situations of like energy. So in the morning time, I'm using my words to get what I want out of life. I'm using my words to make myself feel better.
Right.
To feel more powerful.
Right.
This universe tends to gravitate towards how we feel. The words you use dictates and determines how you feel. So I speak words of abundance, prosperity, wealth, good health, good fortune. I speak these things into existence. That means if you are feeling low, you can change your words and feel high. That means you can feel lack and change your words to feel abundance. There's an old saying, the words you use becomes the house you live in. Here's a rule of thumb. Never talk about what...
Whoa, the words you use become the house that you live in. When you hear that, you start to realize, and if you accept that, you realize how powerful you can really be. Or how powerful you already are, but you don't give yourself credit for it. Man.
What you fear. Never talk about what you don't want to happen. You're giving it life. I have trained myself to only talk about, only think about what I desire to happen, what I want to happen. And that goes for me and my household. See, I discovered to get what you want out of life, sometimes you got to be delusional.
Facts.
Sometimes you got to speak as if things are already happening,
right,
even though they're not.
Right.
When you are delusional, you train and trick the subconscious mind. When you are delusional, you begin to shape your reality based on that delusion that you're holding. You are so powerful that reality bends to what you believe. And when you say your affirmations, over and over and over again, you tell the subconscious mind what to believe. In fact, you don't even have to believe what you're saying at first. I'm gonna say that again. You do not have to believe your affirmations at first. But the more you say them, the more you slowly begin to believe them. The more the subconscious mind accepts that truth. This is the part of being delusional. See, too many people are logical thinkers. And sometimes thinking logically, it eliminates miracles. You can stop miracles from happening to you by being too logical.
Ooh, he talking some shit.
If you want your dream life, if you want to live good and eat good, you have to be slightly out your mind. You have to believe you can have more now than you had before. It's possible. I can have it. Again, this is why I love affirmations. Because affirmations train you. Affirmations trains the mind to focus on one particular thing. And if you say your affirmations, after a while, you really start to believe them. This is why I sleep with my affirmations playing in the background. I play my affirmations on a low, comfortable volume. Because I know parts of my subconscious mind are listening when I'm in a rest, relaxed state. I told you before, you better brainwash yourself or something or someone else will.
Facts.
You must tell your mind what to think. You must tell your mind what to believe. Because if you don't, it would take its belief from the world. God made you powerful beyond measure. You are the creator of your life. Make no mistake about it. And the tools you are using is your thoughts, your words, your feelings, and your actions. But you must control your words. You must control what you say out your mouth, because what you say is what you get. Here are some affirmations that I use every day to maintain my prosperity level. See, I believe one of the best things you can do for someone is to show them how to get some money. That's what I believe. So let's get some money by changing our words. Throughout the day, I'm constantly doing affirmations. For example, I always have plenty of money. I always have plenty of money. I always have plenty of money. Or, I'm a money magnet. I am a money magnet. I am a money magnet. One of my favorites is, I love the energy of money. I love the energy of money. See, anytime you add love to something, it grows bigger. It gets stronger. Add love to money. I love the energy of money. Money is a friend of mine, and it loves to be around me. Money loves to be around me. Money loves to be around me. Here's a good one. I allow myself to have plenty of money. I now allow myself to have plenty of money. Many of us walk around with self-sabotaging money beliefs because at an early age, someone told us that money was bad or wrong. So now you kind of push it away because you secretly don't want it. I'm telling you, it's nonsense. I'm telling you, money is simply energy. I'm telling you that in order for you to have a grand, full life with a full human experience, you gotta have money. because everything costs money. I recommend that you become friends with money on a mental, spiritual level. Because believe it or not, it's alive. It's conscious. I discovered on my journey that everything you see is conscious. Even objects that aren't moving, they are alive. There is a conscious energy in it. That includes money. The great Reverend Knight once said, never talk bad about money. Because if you do, she will hear you and run away from you. You must speak good of the things you want to attract. Speak well of money. It's a tool. It's a tool for you to create whatever you want. Speak well of money. How much good could you do for the world if you had more than enough money? I believe that you will raise the frequency even more. I believe you will use your money for the benefit of mankind. Now, who can you help when you don't have enough funds to help yourself? I want you to use your words to attract what you want by saying it's already here. Now, things won't change overnight. Energy moves slower here in the third dimension. But if you stick to it, after some time, 21 days, 30 days, you'll start seeing examples in your reality. This is Justin from You Are Creators. I love y'all. Sign up for the Affirmation Club. Every week, we give 1 hour affirmations. And we include the download link. Check us out. Love y'all.
Hey, man, I just wanted to say, like, make sure y'all check out my affirmations. But it's a reason why I came up with slogans or mottos for every year. You know, you are the prize in 2025. I say that in every video all year. So it's an affirmation. When you hear it, a lot of y'all might say the intro with me. You may not, but you hear it every time you watch the video. At the end of the video, every video I close and say self-love and positivity. These are affirmations. These are things that I'm closing the video with. That's the last thing you hear from me every video is self-love and positivity. It's a reason for that. These things mean something. Health is wealth was another one. Appreciate time, appreciate life. All of these mottos that I come up with, I say, if you apply these things to your life, they will change your life. Focus on you. What does that mean? Analyze yourself, being self-aware, self-love, knowing what affects you, knowing what can throw you off, and knowing what aids you. But it's important that you open up and be receptive. Even if you're not even receptive, the fact that you're just speaking these things over your life, it's going to be in a positive benefit for you. So these things are extreme. These affirmations is the reason why I came up with those affirmations. It's just check them out, man.
Ever wondered if the English language was manufactured and didn't just evolve naturally? What if changing a language could actually control how we think? So English is often called mongrel language because it's a mashup of Germanic, Latin, Greek, Norse, and French. It didn't grow from one tribe or one place. It was rebuilt piece by piece, especially during empire expansion. The great vowel shift completely changed pronunciation, so older texts became almost unreadable. Then came dictionaries, of course, like Samuel Johnson's in 1755, which locked in official meanings and completely limited how we see words and how words can be used today. Some English words today mean the complete opposite of what they originally meant. Wow. Nice meant ignorant or foolish in Latin. Clock that. Awful meant full of awe. So the complete opposite of what it meant. It doesn't mean like ill. It means like, oh. Silly meant blessed or fortunate. So imagine we're saying to people, stop being silly. stop being blessed or fortunate. Maybe it's a good word. So over time, these meanings got flipped, and so did our perception of them. English often disconnects us from the direct experience. Like another example, person comes from persona, which is a mask worn by actors. So when we say, I'm a person, are we identifying with the role and not the real self? Modern English is known for being efficient, great for trade, law, empire. But is it too clean, too stripped of feeling, depth, or texture? Other languages like Hawaiian or Irish Gaelic and many more still carry poetic structures in their everyday conversation. But English, it became flat, functional, mechanical, perfect for running a system. So a language built for an empire just might not be built for the human experience. So a lot of these points suggest that language can be manipulated over time, shaping how we understand core concepts, maybe even on purpose. Wouldn't be surprised. Because if language shapes thought, then rewriting a language can literally reshape how we think. So what's your thoughts? Was English just evolution, or was it constructed to control something deeper?
Bless means be less you. A soldier is a soul dyer. You are weakened on the weekend. From the weekdays. Days is unable to think in a state of confusion. On the weekdays you work a job, which is Hebrew for persecuted. On that job you earn. An urn is a vessel for the ashes of the dead. Awake is a wake. A wake is a gathering that takes place before a funeral. Hollywood is the holy wood, the wood from a holly tree. This wood was used to create magic wands. They cast spells to a broad audience through the television, through the Hollywood programs. The bottom of the foot is called the soul, and your heel is hell. Your soul is in hell. You must raise your consciousness to the head, heaven. Heel is hell, earth rearranged is heart, and head is heaven. They're inside of you, not external places. They teach you to say the vowels in this order, A, E, I, O, U, to train you to become a slave. They want you to think slaughter is laughter. English language is full.
Yo, that's crazy with the vowels. Even years later, huh? Words.
Your word holds a vibrational frequency that is able to cast spells within your reality. The English language was deliberately designed in a way for it to be easy to cast spells onto others and yourself. With the origin of the English language being rooted heavily in people who practice black magic and witchcraft, with black magic being of an evil and unrighteous nature. These words that we speak on a daily basis has a vibrational frequency that resonates throughout our universe. This is why people of a spiritual nature are able to know when they're being gossiped about. Because being an empath means you are able to pick up on the frequency and vibration within the words that are being said about you. And the key to taking back the godly magic within your word is your intention. When you begin to deliberately speak consciously and with pure intention, you will be able to transform your reality. And this is why affirmations are so important within your spiritual journey. Because when your intention and word are aligned, the Creator will be able to speak through you.
Affirmations.
Be careful with what words are spoken to you or you speak to yourself. In 1939, the monster study was done by Wendell Johnson. Half of the children received a positive speech therapy, raising the fluency of their speech, and the other half received negative speech therapy, making the children feel bad for their speech imperfections. Many of the normal speaking orphan children who received the negative therapy suffered negative psychological effects, and some retained speech problems for the rest of their lives. Conclusion: the words that are spoken to you are very powerful, and the words that you speak to yourself are even more powerful. What are you telling yourself constantly whenever you succeed or whenever you fail? That inner dialogue is going to drive where your life is going to end up.
I personally believe this is one of the most important scientific discoveries of all time. I am really shocked that we don't even learn this in school. This is some next level stuff, and it was verified to be true. Dr. Masaru Emoto, and what he discovered was, when you speak to the water and you say certain things like, I love you, or, you're my friend.
Or beautiful.
Yeah, beautiful, angel. It could be simple, just like angel, happiness, peace. When you say these positive words to the water and then you freeze it, it makes beautiful shapes.
Most of the time, they're symmetrical. They look like
you
beautiful.
Google images. They have photos of this.
They look like snowflakes, like beautiful, symmetrical snowflakes.
Now, when you say mean, nasty words to the water, and then they freeze the water, it would make ugly,
asymmetrical
repulsive shapes.
Asymmetrical.
Yeah, like cracks and looks like damage.
Bubbles.
And you basically prove that like your consciousness and your will combined with the intention behind your words affects reality. It's like the concept that like your words are magic. So much so that you change physical reality.
Yeah, it is quite literally proof that the things that come out of your mouth
change reality,
affect your physical surroundings.
Scientifically proven too. Do your own research.
You know, your body is a corporation. By law, your body, your physical body is a corporation. And so when you die, you're a corpse. Because when you're living, you're a corporation. You are a business. And hanging out with that person is bad business. Right. Or who I hang out with is none of your business. Because your body is a business. And so you say, well, you know, what you're doing with her or him is bad business. But, of course, if you get married and she's very wealthy, you say she's of good stock. Words in terms are based on maritime admiralty, the law of water. When the British began to dominate the seas, the Knights Templar Masonic order of the Knights Templars, who have been in the middle of Asia, came back into Western Eastern Europe, brought all of these concepts, and it was developed into a commercial system of words and terms and symbols which are used in courts and government and corporations.
This is fascinating.
Be very careful. Your words have power. However, there's a difference between creative power and cultivating power. Only God's words have creative power. We can't cause things to come into existence by what we speak. Only when we echo what God's voice has declared do those words then have creative power. The belief that we have creative power outside of what God declares can lead to fear-based, superstitious legalism. Now, our words do indeed have power, but what kind of power? The word declares life and death are in the power of the tongue. God's words create, our words cultivate. You have the power to speak truth or deception, encouragement or discouragement, wisdom or foolishness, purity or impurity. Words change the way we think and therefore behave and therefore live. Be careful what you say. Life and death are in the power of the tongue.
Very true.
Did you know that water, when you freeze it and you say things to it, depending on what frequency you give off, you can change the snowflakes and how they appear when it freezes?
Really?
This one, talk about truth, or you give off peace. If you say, I love you, it turns into that. Beautiful, right? Now, if you say negative shit, like, you fool, look how it freezes.
Wait, nah, this is real?
This is real. This is real study. What? So depending on what vibration you give off when you say things, it will affect the water. And when it freezes, it will show that image.
Word.
Yeah. Just like, bro, if you think about it, to sand, you saw the sand on different sound frequencies, right? It shows different patterns. Now, a step further, water vibrates a lot. Like if you just look at a lake, you'll see the ripples and shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Remember, we're 70% or 80% water, no?
Yeah.
So giving off that frequency all the time or always saying these things, 100% that shit affects you. Would it not?
That's a fact.
If it does that to the water in the cup and it freezes, imagine what it does to you.
Facts. That is a truth.
The secret spells of the English language. It's very simple and recognizable. We awake each morning and go off during the weekdays to earn our living at various jobs and undertakings until we come to the weekend. And everyone agrees that this is the way of things. Only more people die of heart failure between 6 and 10 a.m. Monday morning than any other time of the week. And I explained that when you translate that life sentence, you realize that a wake is a funeral party for the dead, and that mourning is the state we're in when we attend a wake. So when we exchange the friendly greeting with each other, good morning, on a subliminal level, we're also saying good grief. More people dies between 6 and 10 a.m. Monday morning of heart failure than any other time of the week.
Everything is hidden in a plain sight. Words, signs, laws. It is in front of your eyes. If you want to understand it, to see how they enslaved us, this ebook will literally unveil for you everything you need to know. Age of Belief is over. age of knowing has begun.
Here's how the system works. Everything you could ever ask for, you could ever have now, or ever ask for in the future, you already have right now. You already have all of it. You simply are not experiencing it. Because everything that has ever happened is happening now, and ever will happen is happening right now. And so it is for you merely to reach into the sea of infinite possibilities and call forth the reality you choose now to experience. And you do this through three devices mainly: thought, word, and action. That is what you say, what you think or believe, and of course what you do.
Quick thought. You in the Bible, John 1:1, it says, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God. The Word is God. And then that Word became flesh. You know it's talking about us, right? But the Word is energy. The Word is creative. The Word is frequency. With every word we speak after I am, I will, I do, I can, I see, we become. The words, life and death is in the power of the tongue, which means whatever you speak, good or bad, negative or positive, you create it. We are the Word made flesh. The kingdom of God is within man, Luke 17:21. The kingdom of God is inside of man. So your words are power and energy that creates all the things we see in our reality. So be mindful of your words, is what I'm saying. Speak positive over your life.
That's a fact. All right, guys, that was another TikTok compilation. I was talking about words and how powerful they are, affirmations, all that type of stuff. Like I said, man, that's why I came up with these slogans for the year. That's why I came up with self-love and positivity at the end of the video, man, because I feel like this stuff is very important with how you speak to yourself, how you speak about things around you, how you speak about your life, how you speak about your friends. All of that stuff is very important, at least to me. You know what I'm saying? Y'all let me know in the comments what y'all think about this. You made it this far, you a real one for real. But like I said, man, check out those affirmations that I put out a few years ago. Go through it, listen to them. I guarantee they'll help you. Guarantee. But till next time, man, self-love and positivity. Fire Squad, I got you and you know it.